episode of Nonstop Nikhil. It's almost noon today, but I got a bit of a late start this morning, and I'm here in the neighborhood of Marcory. This neighborhood, it seems a bit more upscale than some of the other neighborhoods we've visited here in Abidjan, but it really goes to show that you can buy one thing at a range of prices in these cities. When I was trying to find a place to go grab my coffee and a pastry in the morning, I could find a place like here where you can get a cappuccino for about 2,500 francs, about $4. And then I also found some other coffee shops that were selling the same cappuccino for 4,000 francs, which I could never justify spending $7-8 here for a coffee. But you can find everything at every price point here in Abidjan, and that's great for a traveler. I know I can definitely splurge for my 2,500 franc coffee today. I normally pay maybe 1,000, or even on the street for like 500 francs. But today we'll get a taste of what the fancier life can be like here in one of Africa's most fastest growing economies. I just left the cafe and figured I'd take a walk around the neighborhood. Seems like a very well self-contained neighborhood. Residential with a lot of high-rise apartments that look pretty nice. You see people from all over, mostly from Lebanon, who are business owners in this area. Like Dakar, Abidjan has a big Lebanese population. So you see a lot of halal meat shops, shawarma restaurants, just stores selling household goods here, owned by Lebanese people. Just you can tell by the names being Lebanese or the signs written in Arabic around here, which is not something you would normally see. But really, really nice high-rise apartment buildings. I know I also checked Google Maps, and there's an Indian supermarket here, and I did see some Indian people on the street. So really very global neighborhood here in Marcory. And a good sign that a neighborhood is kind of bougie is if it has a vegan restaurant. I definitely saw one of those vegan restaurants called, like, I don't know, Green is Good or something like that. I can only imagine how expensive a dish of quinoa and fresh vegetables might cost there. There's definitely something for every niche here in Abidjan. As expected, I should have waited until I visited this neighborhood to get my haircut, because I'm seeing plenty of barber shops here owned by Lebanese. But I think at this point it's probably not worth it. I can probably wait until I get to South Africa, get a haircut there, or maybe just do a touch up here. But seeing so many. Other than that, there's also a bunch of fast food, sushi restaurants, pretty much everything that you would really want. But I do not need sushi right now. The local food here is just so good, and it's so much cheaper than getting any international cuisine that I am happy to stick with that. Okay, I was just walking around. I think I found the Indian supermarket. So it's Baba supermarket. Yeah, it has literally everything you would want. All the stuff that you usually get in the supermarkets and in the US. Any of the random snacks you want. You've got all of the little noodles, frozen vegetables, everything. And sauces. Kind of interesting. But I guess there must be a lot of people here. I'll see if I can talk to someone. Oh, looks like we're passing another one. The Indian souk behind me. I went into that Baba store. Basically had everything you would get in an Indian grocery store in the US, if not more. But there were also more people working there than there were shoppers. So I just felt like everyone was just following me around for some reason. Maybe just curious, or I don't know. There were only two other Indian people there. The guy who was actually running the store, and then there looked like there was somebody else trying to buy like bulk goods. So he was trying to take the order from that guy. But I don't know. It seems to be like a world here. You've got literally everything in Marcory. If you're looking for that global Abidjan experience, you can find it here in this neighborhood. I've been walking around and I'm dripping in sweat, and there's no real way to escape the humidity except to go inside, find somewhere with air conditioning, That means you have to eat something, and I'm not really that hungry, but I might just go to a restaurant anyway just to get in some air conditioning for a while. The other alternative would be to find one of the many shopping malls, but that might require going a little bit outside of the city. Find some of the huge shopping malls I've seen during our drives into and out of Abidjan, but that might actually be a good alternative too. So I am dripping, I'm soaked in sweat right now. So I was walking around the street and trying to make it to where some of the nicer restaurants are in the southern part of Marcory. They're mostly Lebanese restaurants, but fortunately I found a spot just on the side of the road where I was walking, and it serves local food. So I stepped in. It's a great reprieve from the heat and humidity outside. There's some light air conditioning here. How it normally works is that you get a menu and it has most of like the grilled meats. But the local restaurants also have like a plat du jour, or like a dish that is specially being served for that day, and that's usually a lot cheaper and it's more like home cooked food. So here it's mostly like a gravy with rice, or a chicken, or a soup with rice and a chicken. So the plat du jour today at this restaurant, Chez Arthur, was soup, chicken soup with rice. That's what I ordered, and then I also got a bock beer with that, all for about 3,000 sefa, about like $5-6. But what I feel like I'm actually paying for is for somewhere to sit down that's quiet, air conditioned, and not have to sweat out buckets like I do when I'm outside. So I just finished lunch and figured I would take a walk through the neighborhood. There's this artisanal market here, which is pretty popular, but I'm obviously cannot buy anything because I'm traveling for such a long time. But I figured it would be a nice pit stop before I head back to Trècheville. I think one of the friends who I met this past weekend at the bar in Blocos invited me over to his neighborhood and his home. So I'll grab a yango there right after we check out this spot. At least it offers a little bit of shade in the afternoon sun. Additionally, a busload of white people just showed up, so no one's gonna bother me. I can roam around in peace for a little bit here. It's pretty much all the same stuff that you're gonna find at the Cocody market, but maybe a little more variety here at inflated prices. Nothing really surprising, all the typical stuff, wood products, jewelry, textiles, all the knickknacks. Everything's nice. I mean, if I were just traveling for like a week or two, sure, it's fine, but 6-7 months, I'm not going to be able to carry anything with me. But it's nice to actually, without the pressure of thinking you're going to buy something, to just walk around being like, okay, I have no FOMO that I haven't bought anything. I can't carry it with me. I know how difficult it is to get from one place to another. Getting from one place to another, even with what I have right now, is a pain. If I add anything else to it, it's not going to be fun. And we're only completed month 1 of 6 or 7 months.
Ça c'est le Placali. Comme tu le vois, on le fait avec le manioc. Le manioc. Voilà, et ça c'est la sauce.
Ça, c'est la nourriture quotidienne que vous mangez?
Oui, oui. On aime beaucoup ça en Côte d'Ivoire ici. Hein. Voilà. Et ça c'est le porc.
Le porc?
Le porc. Voilà, et la sauce c'est composé de gombo. Gombo, plus voilà, des ingrédients et tout. Donc c'est bien. Tu vas goûter, tu verras.
I told Dylan that I'm not hungry after we just had lunch, and he said that he would just bring me a little bit, but this is like a whole meal. C'est un repas entièrement? Comme ça, oui. Il y a beaucoup. Okay, so let's enjoy it. So he said it's a pork gravy with okra in it, and then this is the placali made out of cassava, and it's a staple food. Merci, madame. Il y a beaucoup à manger. C'est beaucoup à manger. Merci. Je vais le goûter. I just visited Dylan's home. Dylan in English. Dylan.
Ça veut dire quoi?
Ça, yeah, son nom est devenu Dylan maintenant. Dylan.
Dylan, c'est en anglais.
Oui, exactement.
Bon, quand on va arriver là-bas, tu vas bien filmer, tu vois.
Maintenant, nous sommes à Trècheville. We're in Trècheville, back in Trècheville, the neighborhood that I wanted to come back to. I'm glad I'm back here with Dylan, who can show me around. We got some street food. He had some chips. Chips.
Banane, c'est ça?
Banana chips.
Blanche.
And then plantain chips. He has plantain chips. And then I got some beignets that are made out of fish.
Yes.
Beignets de poisson.
Oui.
Okay. And that's something that I didn't really know existed, so I'm glad that he was able to point it out to me on our walk. I think we can add to the list of infrastructure projects here in Abidjan is that they're planning on building a metro. Ils vont construire le métro à Abidjan.
Il y a eu le métro.
Oui, c'est bon. Et c'est un projet ivoirien ou il y a des investissements étrangers?
Oui, il y a de l'investissement, je parle les Chinois. Hein.
Ah, ok.
Parce que il faut avoir des partenaires et tout pour pouvoir construire. Hein.
Ouais.
Sinon, s'élever comme ça seulement en ivoirien, c'est compliqué.
Mais les travailleurs vont être ivoiriens ou chinois?
Oui, des Ivoiriens et des Chinois.
Ok, les deux.
Voilà,
okay, c'est bon.
Les deux.
C'est bon parce que s'il y a juste l'investissement étranger sans les travailleurs d'ici, ça va pas être le meilleur pour l'économie ici. Hein.
Non. Il faut des étrangers.
Ouais.
Et pour bien faire. Parce que même les ponts que tu vois là.
Oui, exactement.
Voilà, c'est les Chinois, les Français.
Yeah.
Les Américains.
We're talking about all the investments, in English, all the investment projects here in Abidjan for its infrastructure. They're really trying to build it up into something big. You can see just by the geography of the city, it requires a lot of bridges to connect all the disparate parts. See, if you go from any of the neighborhoods from Plateau to Marcory, Trècheville, you need to have bridges.
Yes.
So it's like a great city for an investment if there are infrastructure companies looking to pour money into a city. The geography of the city really suits that. Getting a little taste of rush hour Abidjan. It's a Monday evening. Everyone's heading back from work to their homes. This huge bus stop right behind me in the plateau area of Abidjan is full of people trying to head back home. We also saw a long line of people waiting for the ferries to take rides across the lagoon, which connects different neighborhoods of the city. Overall, the sun is gone, so I'm at least thankful for that. But the humidity will never disappear. So after sitting through really uncomfortable traffic getting out of downtown Abidjan during rush hour, it was really not comfortable because you completely sit still in the vehicle, and when you're sitting still in the vehicle, that means there's no wind and then there's no air conditioning, so you just are sitting being slapped constantly by the humidity. And then we made it to Kokoji, got off the highway, and right now I think the car broke down in some way. I mean, it was running, but we had to pull over to the gas station so the driver could make some repairs. And now when he's trying to start the vehicle, it's not starting up, but he says it'll be ready in like under 10 minutes. So I'm not ordering another one. I'm just in for the ride, really, at this point. Like, I'm just in for the ride. I was actually thinking about stopping at the Burger King, which is right by where I'm staying. And I think I'm going to really deserve it after we get this car running and after sitting in all the heat today. I don't even want food to eat. I've had like so many meals today just to get air conditioning. What I really want is see if they have soft serve ice cream. My desires are so simple. It's just my luck. I thought this was going to be like a quick 10-minute ride back to my Airbnb, but it's turning into like an hour-long ordeal. They're pushing the car, and I think he's trying to take her around, see if the car will actually keep running, and then he'll come back and pick me up. I don't know. I said if it's going to take this long, I'm happy to just call another car to make it the last 5 minutes back to the Airbnb. But, you know, that wouldn't be a fun story, so I'm still here. This is actually a very, very authentic Burger King because I went in looking for the soft serve, and obviously the soft serve machine doesn't even work. He's just like, yeah, we don't have anything that relies on the soft serve machine. And I'm like, yeah, I told them, I'm like, C'est une expérience très authentique. She was laughing, being like, oh wow, really? Like, that's how it is. I'm like, no, you're basically sending me back home with it not working. I would be actually surprised if it were working.